Hey everybody, it's time for Monday's My Life with MS. As far as my life goes with it, not too much happening at the moment. We're in the process of unpacking, taking our time to do that. I do need to start going to the shed and start bringing loads up here so I can get rid of that payment. I did prepay until I do April, May, June, July. So yeah, by the end of July, I need to either get that shed emptied or I'm gonna have to make another $70 payment. And I don't want to do that. So I'm trying to get everything put into my garage, which doesn't have, if you heard, the jackass that I had come to locksmith, come to replace some things for me, replaced one lock that it's being goofy as heck. But that's the only one he got replaced, but he complained the strike plate not being on. I don't need to get back into it, but he also tore apart my garage door handle and never put one in to fix it, so it locked me out of my garage and I had to break a door down to get it. All that stuff. But I did get a new handle through eBay, even though he said he had a special order and it would cost like $350. It cost me 15 or $20 on eBay, and they had hundreds of them. But yeah, so that's what you get when you got these people that, and then the guy just spent 90% of his time here speaking in another language that I couldn't understand. But I think he was on a phone thing with his ear jack or something. I don't know. But getting back at that, I was talking about that because I got to get that shed emptied, and I want to put a bunch of it in the my 2-car garage, which is an old, worn out, beat up, and broken, rain getting in type garage. So I got to make sure everything's palleted and away from any type of leakage until we can gradually get it moved in here. And our renter that was going to stay till October, she ended up pulling out and going to live at the person's house that we bought this one from because they have an upstairs apartment at their new house also. So we will have to start working on the upstairs now and try and get all our meters knocked down to one instead of having a separate heating meter or natural gas meter, a separate electric meter, all that stuff. So hopefully I can do that without spending a ton more money, but who knows? All this shit is just getting ridiculous. Every time I turn around, it's another big money I don't have. And like I said, after being a caretaker for my mom for 6 years with her dementia and paying for most of the stuff, not getting paid for anything I did, family screwing us over. It just, yeah, it was not a good time to buy a house, especially when the house prices were maxed out because it's a seller's market, not a buyer's market right now. And it just killed us. And we're running out of money quick, so then we still haven't even made our first mortgage payment, which is due July 1st, but no one sent me a mortgage booklet or anything, a payment booklet. So I have no idea what the hell's going on. I don't know if it's gonna come out automatically or what. I gotta call them next after I'm done doing this video. I'm gonna try and get a hold of the lender because the lender changed to another new lender. It's just, yeah, it's ridiculous what you gotta go through with certain things. It should be a simpler process, but my bank would have took the loan on. It would have been way simpler, but my bank ended up being fussy about the price and the things that needed to be done. And so they backed out on the loan and I had to go through a different lender. So, but that's what you got to do. The only problems I'm really having is that stupid shoulder. I, I pulled something or tore something. If I tore it, it would be a lot more painful. So I'm guessing it's just pulled, but yet it was feeling better. I was doing all right. Then I moved some stuff around and all of a sudden it started hurting again. So I might have to get a picture taken, X-ray taken to check to see uh, if there is any damage in there. But I will see. I'm going to get through this damn move first, finish that shed off, and then I'll worry about going to the doctor. Uh, I don't know if I mentioned it. I did have a blood test for my annual health and wellness exam. Did all that stuff. I think I mentioned it, but everything came out decent. Uh, didn't have to worry too much about that. But then I was having some problems with urinating and stuff. And yeah, I think I mentioned that too. Is I basically think I was starting to pass the stone, kidney stone broke up, and I started passing it. If I'm done passing it, thank that thankfully it's over. But I don't know. You never know with those things. They didn't rescan, so I think they'd use an ultrasound to check for those, and they found it. A big one lodged in my flesh tubing of my urethra or something like that. Oh, I'm not a doctor. But hopefully that thing did break up, and that's what all that pain was for a variety of days. But yeah, it's all good now. So hopefully it's done and over with, or I'm just waiting for the rest of it to break loose and pass. Who knows? But I know I asked the doctor, and they said real lemonade is a good thing for it, and I like my wedges of lemon with my shots of tequila. So I'm like, well, I'll just make sure I eat a whole lemon every time I decide to have some tequila. And I did that, and the day that I had the doctor appointment, and a couple days later, it subsided. Got something going by. I don't know if it looks like an ambulance flying by. One thing with being on this main road, and it's almost like Main Street, even though it connects to Main Street. It is a main road that comes through here, and all the semis and trucks and everything go through here, and we're across the street from a gas station, so that don't help. And I'm so sick of that car wash. I think the damn thing's open 24 hours because that stupid fan just every time it kicks in, you gotta listen to it. But yeah, I'd like to know what their water bill is because it seems like there's cars going through that thing constantly. Uh, yeah, we're getting there with the house, but yeah, we're happily in the stage where we can take our time going box by box. If you want to see me what I'm unboxing, I'm doing a unpacking my life video series also, where I am just going through boxes and pulling stuff out, showing it on camera as I unbox stuff I haven't seen in 5, 6, 10, 12 years, and stuff that I just packed up as we were getting out of there. But yeah, it's a fun series that I'm doing now too. So. But other than that, I don't think I have too many other issues going on right now. And pains like my sciatica is acting up with all this movement of boxes and stuff, and other things are starting to be affected, and my foot is just all wonked up and painful, mostly on the top though, so that's fine. I can live with that. It's better than having the heel pain and stuff like that, the electrifying strap, flesh tearing pain. My knees, my good knee, for some reason, the right side of it's really bad. I'm hoping that ACL isn't about to snap. But there's a good possibility. I mean, that thing's gone through all kinds of heck since bad knee snapped, and then I had surgery, and then it snapped the day of the surgery again, and then the doctor disappeared. But you can find out about that in past episodes. Let's see. Let's talk about some sciatica, which is a pain from an injured or irritated sciatic nerve. This is the longest, thickest nerve in the body. It starts in your buttocks area and runs down your leg into your feet. I didn't realize that. I thought it focused right in the lower back area. People with sciatica have mild to severe pain along the path of the nerve. But if it starts in your buttocks, why does my sciatica pain and start in my back? That's where the pain is, my lower right backside. That's where I've always had the sciatica issues. So, don't know. Many people have sciatica, including some people with multiple sclerosis. About 40% of people in the US have sciatica at some point in their life. Yeah, I could see that, if not more, because I know a lot of people that have dealt with it. Some people who feel this type of pain may wonder if they have sciatica or MS. Sciatica is nothing like MS, so no. People experience sciatica in different ways. Common symptoms include lower back pain, usually on one side of the body. Mine's on the lower right. Pain that travels down the leg, typically one leg at a time, which I have, but it feels like it's more focused on the hip and knee. And when I sleep at night, the right side of my right knee is very painful, and that's the side I sleep on, so that doesn't help. I've tried different types of ointments and stuff, but those are not getting much attention to the pain. And it just, yeah, it's just money on more stuff that's not going to fix anything. Uh, Pain that travels down the leg, typically one leg at a time. Leg weakness, a burning feeling in the buttocks, a tingling or pricking feeling that goes along with the pain, and pain that gets worse with movement and loss of movement because of the pain. Uh, I know my worst bout with it lasted me about 3 months. I had a broken recliner, and that is the only thing I could sit in. It was broken and at a weird angle, and it was like sideways and stuff. It was a pretty beat up chair. It was ready for the dumpster, but luckily I had it when I had the sciatica act up. So, uh, yeah, both sciatica and MS can lead to pain. However, the main causes are different, which, yeah, duh. Uh, Different parts of the nervous system. Your body's nervous system has two parts: the central nervous system, which includes your brain and spinal cord, which is focused with our MS, and the peripheral nervous system, PNS, is everything else. It includes nerves that travel from your spinal cord and brain to every other part of your body. Uh, Certain people are more likely to have sciatica than others. There are people that have herniated or slipped discs, diabetes, physically demanding jobs, osteoarthritis. Treatment for sciatica is icing, hot packs, over the counter drugs like ibuprofen, and gentle stretching. And yoga is great for sciatica. Uh, and if you have to do the heat, or the cold, a good trick is every 15 minutes change from hot to cold, and it kind of helps confuse the area and help relieve it a little bit more. That's a bonus. Let's look at some muscle weakness and how it affects people with MS. Uh, some people's quotes are sometimes I fall and can't even get up from the weakness. I have lost the strength in my hands, which has become very frustrating to me in trying to complete daily living chores. Even opening a water bottle has become a challenge. I, yeah, the weakness in falling, I've been having it a lot more lately, which sucks. I've been very tipsy. This new house has crooked spots on our flooring from warpage, which hopefully someday I'll be able to afford to fix. I have a friend that does flooring, and hopefully I could get him in here one day and rip up all these old wood floorboards and definitely put them back in here, but try to get the whole area leveled out and get a undercoat underneath it for cushioning and noise reduction. We'll see what happens. With the loss of strength in my hands and stuff, we found out that my hand bone is pushed out from when I fell multiple times. Same with this hand, it's all messed up too. Uh, if you ever fall, just tuck your arms in and try and land with your side, your shoulder. If you can roll with it, that's a good thing. Don't put your hands out. It's, I wish someone, it took me until my 40s to uh, know that if you put your hand on, your hand's full of so many bones that it can easily be damaged. And it's a damaging effect that could go without being able to fix it or do anything about it, and then you're stuck with that pain the rest of your life, and it just sucks. Uh, Another person said, I held the phone the other day and my arm became weak suddenly, and I had to catch the phone with my other hand. Yeah, I drop things a lot. My wife has to catch them when we're in a store and stuff like that. I have noticed things like it takes both hands to turn a doorknob and not being able to open a bag of chips without using scissors or wring a washcloth out thoroughly. Yeah, I get it's just it's weird how weak you can get with certain things. It's like even with when I get into the punching bag and stuff like that, like I used to, I'd have moments where my punches got very pathetically weak. And it's like, yeah, hopefully if I ever got in a fight, I wouldn't hit someone with those type of punches. 'Cause they would just laugh at me and kick the crap out of me. Uh, yeah, it's amazing how the littlest thing you can't operate with your hands. Your hands just get so weak. And there's moments where I can't even, I got the squeeze balls that I like to keep by me. I don't have my, yeah, I do. So like, I got my handball squeezer, I got other different ones. I got my MS brain squeezer and stuff like that. So like, I'll use them to try and strengthen my hand, but there's moments where my hand's so weak I can't even squish the thing. Uh, then you just don't know what you can do to really fix it. But yeah, it's like you tell the doctors, it's like, yeah, it's part of your life now. Another person said, I have noticed things like it takes both hands to turn. Okay, we did talk about that. Bag of chips and stuff. Yeah, opening things that are simple things. Just, I'm struggling, and it's like, okay, I don't have enough strength to open it. It's like, what the hell? I gotta whip out the scissors or the knife. Uh, Lifting an empty kettle is or can be a chore, and then I'm unable to undo the coffee jar or drop the milk to the floor because it's a full or a new carton, and I tend to spill the full cup. Yeah, we're back to having to fill gallon jugs of water and stuff to have decent drinking water because I pay for water in this village, but the village dumps so much freaking chlorine in the water that it tastes like. And it's like, okay, so now I gotta go somewhere and get filtered water at a grocery store, haul 5 jugs a week, pick up ice at the gas station, all that stuff. Uh, it's just not fun. And then when I got a fresh gallon jug and I'm filling my coffee pot with it, it's like a lot of times I can barely get the jug high enough to pour the water into the unit, or as I'm pouring it, like they said, it'll start to leave my hand, slip out of my hands. Then you got a mess all over the place, the floor, the counter, sinks, everything. It sucks. It's embarrassing. It's annoying. It's like you can do weightlifting and all that to try and increase your muscle structure. It just ain't gonna, doesn't really help. According to the National MS Society, the 2 primary causes of muscle weakness in MS are deconditioning of the muscles and damage to nerves. Uh, and certain medications can be the cause for weakness or worsen the weakness as a side effect of the medications. Muscle deconditioning occurs when muscles are not used regularly, leading to a reduction in muscle mass and strength. I'm using them regularly. I'm carrying boxes. I'm hauling stuff around. I'm doing chores, but they just have their weak moments. Uh, but yeah, fatigue, heat sensitivity, mobile problems can all make it difficult to stay active and exercise regularly. But yeah, I'm not exercising regularly, but I'm doing chores regularly, and that takes everything out of me. So I don't think I need to also sit there and do an hour worth of physical working out after I just push mowed the lawn, picked up rocks, cleaned up the yard, worked on the house, cleaned everything around here, moved boxes, hauled stuff. It's like I think I know how much my body can handle it. But if it was up to my doctor, they'd have me in physical therapy 24/7. I'd gladly go if they'd put me on machines, but I'm not going to pay $240 an episode just to have someone show me yoga moves that I already know and then have me walk a straight line or lean up towards against a wall to see how I can deal with my flexibility and stuff. It's like I want to work out on machines if I'm going to pay $240 a session. Uh, and the place I went to has all brand new equipment. They got probably 50 plus machines in there. It's like use them. There's like 2 people on them. The rest of them are working out of the little rooms in the back, doing your little yoga exercises, your standing exercises, your bending exercises, your all that. MS is considered a demyelinating disease, which means it involves damage to the myelin sheath, the protective covering that surrounds nerve fibers in the central nervous system, including the spinal cord and brain. Damage can also extend to the nerve fibers themselves, which the immune system attacks and demyelinates these nerves. It disrupts the communication between the brain and muscles, leading to symptoms such as muscle weakness, stiffness, spasms, pain, and loss of coordination. Of course, medication side effects can cause weakness. Uh, it's what works to manage it differs from person to person. Uh, Some members often discuss ways to manage muscle weakness and share what has worked for them. And it's good to work with a physical therapist or occupational therapist. It's good to do exercise if you're not doing physical stuff. Uh, this person's doing what I'd love to do, but I don't have any place close to me. But they say, I've started swimming twice a week to hopefully help my muscle strength. I still have weakness, but I know I'm getting stronger because I'm able to swim longer with less pain. Again, agreed. Uh, over this moving period, I've gotten to do more and more over time, but I still have the weakness. So it's so hard to, with the numbness, because I'm completely numb from forearm to fingertips. With the numbness, that affects the weakness a lot too for me. So that's a big issue along with it. So even with working the items, I still have that numbness that's never going to go away probably, but not much you can really do with it. Another person said, I had noticed some muscle weakness in my legs sometimes when I was walking my dog. I have since started going to a fitness club once a week, yoga once a week, dance class once a week, and all these have made a difference. And that's a lot of freaking working out. So yeah, I hope you get some results, but yeah, I don't know. My legs have been numb from mid thigh down for years. Trying to maintain muscle strength has helped me to walk unaided so far most times. And another person says, in my case, the reduced activity weakened me significantly. I got an exercise bike and put in some effort. 6 months later, I'm so much stronger. I still have my MS issues with balance, but it's made life far easier now. Yes, and it helps to address the fatigue issues, see what you can do to help with those. Use mobility aids. Don't be afraid to use a cane, a walker, whatever to get around more. As you get stronger, then you'll stop using it if you're able to. Uh, and keep a positive attitude. Uh, driving with MS. You may get lost more easily because of cognition, mental functioning, and stuff like that. Confusion. Uh, I quit. I quit driving bikes, motorcycles, and stuff because of my MS years ago. I feel I'm better now with driving, but there was a period there where I didn't trust myself to get on a two-wheeled vehicle, and I'm not going to put other people at risk. So I didn't do that, and I quit riding bikes back then. Now I feel I could again, but I'm just not gonna waste the money and risk it. Maybe go out and rent a bike sometime, go for a cruise with some friends over a weekend run or something like that. But that's that's for the future. We're not going to worry about that right now. Your reaction time behind the wheel may be slower, which I can totally see because it takes a little more time for our brain to click in with certain things. Muscle spasms can make it harder to drive. I know I've had to pull over years back because of muscle spasms and optic issues, whiteouts and stuff like that. But yeah, it's when I mentioned in the past that I took a 4 hour trip up north. It's a 4 hour drive up north our last time we went, and 4 hour drive back home. Drove up north, got to the hotel, and I could not sleep. at all for 2 days because anytime I tried to sit down or lay down, my spasms just went off the chart. Uh, it was just pain, cramping, locking up, severe burning, all that stuff. And I basically stood in the bathroom area, so I didn't affect the wife with the lights on and stuff. And I just stand in there and read or whatever, or work on my tablet. And yeah, it sucked. I could not sit or lay down without spasms going off the chart. And so I don't do no long distance driving anymore. Maximum I'll do is probably about an hour and a half one way, and that in itself can have issues uh, that could cause spasm type things. Thankfully, I don't drive a stick shift anymore. Driving semi and stuff back in the day, I don't think I could do it with the MS spasms and with my leg issues and the numbness and all that. MS can cause vision problems on the road. Like I said, I've had to pull over years back because of whiteouts and stuff with my vision. And yeah, that can be dangerous on the road for people. Some medications can make you drowsy. It's like I don't take my baclofen until nighttime for my spasms, unless I'm having it really bad. Then I'll take a few during the day. But usually my spasms focus more at nighttime. So I'm at home by then. So I feel that's a safer time to take it. Uh, Changing your driving habits may help. Like I just said, I had a lot of things have changed with my driving to make it so I don't have the issues I used to have. Uh, Adapting your vehicle may make driving easier. There are things that you can do to modify your vehicle, like hand controls for your brakes and gas pedals, a spinner knob on the steering wheel, which I love the old suicide knob is what we call them. But we had them on all our farm equipment and our farm trucks. And back then we had the old 3-speed on the tree farm trucks. I loved that. That was my favorite truck. I miss that thing. I wish I would have kept it. Let's see, specialized seats that make getting in and out easier. If you use a wheelchair, it may be necessary to purchase a wheelchair accessible vehicle. All that goodness. Laws may require testing to keep driving, which, yeah, you gotta go to the DMV and you got certain conditions and they will test you more for the driving parts than other people. So you may get required to have to do a certain driving test. Laws may require testing to keep driving. There are signs that driving may no longer be safe, like whether you would want loved ones to ride with a driver like you, whether family members seem reluctant to get into a car when you're driving, how much help you need from others to see signs or follow directions when you're driving. Yeah, if I get to a point where I don't trust myself and feel anybody else could be at risk, I'm not going to drive anymore. Uh, but you just got to pay attention to what you're going through, pay attention to your surroundings, and make sure you're safe on those roads. And you're driving around in a 5,000-pound bullet, basically. So you don't want to be causing accidents and injuring or killing people because you're too stubborn to step aside if you need be. You can get help evaluating your driving ability. It may be wise to scope out transportation options with someone else getting you around and stuff like that. So definitely take those into consideration. Uh, with being an MSer, many of us can be at higher rates for it to hit us earlier in life, dementia, Alzheimer's, stuff like that. But they say sleep has the ability to lower the risk of developing neurological disorders like Alzheimer's and other forms of dementia. So definitely get your sleep on. Uh, Sleeping protects the brain health by improving immunity and reducing stress, both of which lower inflammation. The glymphatic system, which is activated during sleep, plays a major role in clearing away toxins, which help reduce the risk of neurological disorders. And to improve your sleep, experts recommend getting at least 7 hours of rest each night. Make sure your room is cool and avoid overstimulating activities too close to bedtime, like shutting off your uh, electronic devices like a half hour before bed. Do some reading of a book instead of reading off a screen. Screen effects can definitely affect your brain and keep you from falling asleep once you get in bed. I can lay there with my brain going a mile a minute with stupid things, even a song stuck in there or something. It's just, yeah. Sleep is good because it helps our body rebuild and recharge, which we need, especially when we got neurological diseases. Uh, what to know about a headache on the left side of the brain? Headache on the left side may cause generalized aching or pain in a specific place, such as behind the left eye. It may feel throbbing, sharp, or piercing. I get the pain all through here and stuff, but it's also basically the starting phases, I'm assuming, of trigeminal neuralgia. Uh, if a headache occurs with blurred vision, nausea, or any other symptoms that cause concern, seek medical attention. Uh, a secondary headache results from another health issue, such as a brain tumor, a stroke, an infection. So you got to watch out for that. Migraine headaches can cause a moderate to severe headache on the left side of the brain or head. Uh, a migraine headache may throb and be worse on one side. The pain may begin around the eye or temple and then spread across the head. Some other symptoms of migraine include changes to vision, nausea and vomiting, dizziness, extreme sensitivity to sound, light, touch, or smell, numbness or tingling sensation in the face or extremities. Common triggers include stress, hormonal changes, certain foods such as alcohol, cheese, and chocolate. All the good ones. Sleeping too much or too little. Bright lights or lights that flicker. Odors such as perfume. Uh, you can get cluster headaches, like pain behind one eye, one temple, or one side of the forehead, pain that starts at night, usually 1 to 2 hours after going to sleep, pain that peaks after 5 to 10 minutes, severe pain that lasts 30 to 60 minutes, less intense pain that may continue for up to 3 hours. Related symptoms may include a blocked or runny nose. Really? A drooping eyelid. My stupid eye is driving me nuts today. As you can see, I'm constantly trying to spread it apart. It's like really dry in this corner, and then it's got a little pain going right through the center area. Don't know what's up with it today. Watery or redness in one eye, a flushed or sweaty face, cervicogenic headaches. Never heard of those before. This type of headache can result from an injury to the neck, such as whiplash or arthritis. Okay, that's probably why I never heard of it. or other changes in the vertebrae at the top of the spine. It can cause moderate to severe pain that starts in the neck and spreads to the eyes and face on one side, a stiff neck and reduced range of motion, pain around the eyes, neck, shoulders, and arms. We got that stupid shoulder. Nausea, blurred vision, sensitivity to light and sound, steroid injections, and non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, NSAIDs, such as ibuprofen, Advil, may help manage the pain with treatment. But yeah, there's all kinds of things that we have to deal with MS and other neurological pains and issues. So keep an eye on everything. Talk to your doctor. Let them know what's up. I'm not a doctor. I'm just telling you my opinions of stuff that people send me, and I read it over and look at it and let you know what I go through and feel. And I'm not a doctor, so don't use me as your example of what to do with your life. Definitely talk to your medical team and make sure they agree with everything that you're doing, uh, and have you on the right medications if need be or whatever. Don't just go try medications because you heard someone talk about it or something like that. Definitely work with your medical staff. But other than that, I'm going to go shove a stick through my eyeball. It is driving me nuts right now. And it sucks because I wanted to go do some yard work, some weed whacking, but I'll be wearing my glasses anyways to protect my eyes. 'Cause a lot of times, little pebbles and stones like to fly up in your face when you're weed whacking. Uh, Otherwise, have a wonderful day, a wonderful week. Keep the monster away. Don't let him irritate you too much. And if you can, put him in his place and lock him up. And I will get back with another episode next Monday. So keep following Under the Cult of MS. Rate, review, subscribe, tell a friend, give us those likes, leave a comment, and I will comment back. And always remember, don't let the monster ruin your day. It's your job to ruin the day of the monster. Have a wonderful week, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.